Hello everybody and welcome to episode 47 of Let's Play Cities, Skylines, Trinity. Now today, our episode is all about railroads. Oh yes, because we are getting ready to build a new major urban area in Township 28. And in order to do that, I first want to connect up the rails that come to that little hub there. So there's going to be a lot of rail construction, a lot of time-lapse construction. So if that's your thing, this is going to be your episode. So let's jump in, shall we? Alright, so this is the area that we are talking about developing. Township 28. Now, I don't necessarily want to make it another Prospectsburg. It's going to be a mix of higher and lower density. It's also going to be a mix of residential and industrial and maybe a little commercial. And our demand is building up pretty nicely for that. But what we're going to do now to prepare this terrain is we are going to work on our the rails that come through here. Now if you look on here, we already have one rail line that actually ends here, which is the line that comes up through here. But we're going to build a new line, and at some point at a previous episode we already built this bridge which connects to the northernmost hub of Prospectsburg. And so the plan is to have this go out to here, where it'll have probably 2 more stations, and then that will be 3, 4, and then 5, 6, and 7 will be up here somewhere. So that's the plan. So that's what we're going to do. Also, we have a little rail line here, and it's going to be a little stubby line because there's not too much place for it to go, but I'm thinking that we might have a rail line coming up here, possibly connecting with one of these, possibly even ending up over here. It's hard to know for certain yet, but right now we are just going to handle the these guys here, this rail line. And since we already have the bridge that goes over to here, I say we are going to start on this area. So relax and enjoy while I modify this terrain and make it cool. Alright, and there we go. And that's how you do it in about 15 minutes. Of course, that went by much faster for you watching at home, because I sped it up. Yes, one of the wonderful things is I can, you can see all the things I would do off screen in real time. Well, in fast forward time, I guess that is. Okay, well, it's time to make power lines. Alright, so basically, it starts here. It'll go under the terrain here until after this station, at which point it will become elevated. Crosses over to here. It has a junction here before it crosses over the river. Then over to here. And then ... Where does it go? Well, we don't know yet. But I am thinking, since this is station 4, right? And I tend to like 7 station setups, I think we're going to have a station possibly over here in one of these areas. This will be 5, then 6, and then 7 can be near here. So let's actually go ahead and make number 7 right now. Just like this. You see? Not too hard. In fact, I was kind of wondering if I should connect it to here, because I'll probably have a different train station there. But nah, here is fine. And this area, it can be pretty open, I would say, in terms of at-grade crossings and such. One thing that is kind of fun, though, I always like when there's like something weird like this, like a rail or a road that's between 2 rail lines. So there we go. There we have that, and also this is going to be a industrial district in the future. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that's station 7. Station 6 is going to be, let's say, right here, which will put station 5, I would say, here. So now it's a matter of connecting them up. So here we go. Alright, well, there we go. We now have a complete rail line, and as you can see, just the act of doing that causes like a whole cascade of different things, that I want to do. For example, fix this highway and fix this road and all that stuff. And pretty much the last thing to do is put the trees on here, but I think I want to do that when we actually develop the town a little bit. So we now have a complete rail line, and it's time to make it. It is time to actually place down the rail line now, and we're going to start from this end because it doesn't actually matter what end we're starting on, because I don't think any of these rail stations are going to be shared. Very important to click on the right one, although you can't even click on the wrong one if you wanted to. So it goes up to here. And then we go to this station, and then finally to here. And then we work our way all the way back. And there we go. A 7-station track, which basically spans the map. Okay. So this one, let's make, I don't know. Do we have any colors that are kind of like that? Not really. We're going to call this, just to troll everybody, we're going to call this the Bubsy line, as in Bubsy the Bobcat. And yes, I genuinely love that game, at least the first one. And to a certain extent the second one too. But there we go. Now we just have to make sure these other stations have power and water. Alright, and now that we have that, the station will run. So, that is pretty rad. That leaves us with the last one though. I mean, someone could question why we didn't make this one go all the way, but this one is already very long. So having it end here is actually not a bad decision. But I do think there is plenty of value in having this continue a little bit longer. So, one thing I like to do is first extend this to here. And this is so deep, it might be able to go under the regular street level, but over this highway. But we're about to find out. Alright, it's a little low, but we can elevate it and it should be okay. Well, as you can see, we basically did what we intended to do. It is below the level of the rest of the roads, and it will be easy for streets to cross over, but it's also higher than the highway. So that's very efficient. Now, we are going to put a station over here, which will be very conveniently located close to the other station. This is going to have to be blown up, so sorry to anyone who needed to use that, but it's going bye-bye. Put a station here, and I actually think it should tunnel under here. It'll come up through here. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can work with this in this tight spot. Alright, so the last thing is a sort of assumption that we're going to have a rail line crossing the river over here. And, well, this is close enough that I think that we actually might be wanting to have that connect to whatever we have going on. And also, I think we actually should probably be elevating a chunk of stuff here, and you'll see why in a second, although you can probably figure it out. Let me check. Can we fit a bad boy up here? No, we have to, we are going to have to edit this street to do that, but that's okay. We can do that. There we are. And are these two stations close enough? I think so, but actually, yeah, no, we're not even going to move it. They will easily walk between these two spots. So we're obviously not going to build this entire rail line today, but because we know we're going to, we can do things like this. And, of course, start ourselves a beautiful bridge. Which will actually probably remain the most upstream bridge in the whole city. Don't like how it dips down there, though. So what if we just... Oh, what the hell. Sometimes this game can be a silly goose, as they say. I don't know why I insist on wanting to dip down and then come back up. But it likes to do that an awful lot, doesn't it? But yeah, there we go. And people will walk between these two stations, like I said, and I think we can actually smooth this out. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to bend this around. I was thinking of tunneling under, but I think this is actually more appropriate. And as for this, we're going to go straight down. We're also going to go over. What is your problem? Oh, that's too high. I mean, that wasn't what the problem was, but that is a problem. So we can just connect that like that, and this will come up here to connect. So there we go. We spent a lot of time making that station for a rail line that probably will not exist for a while. But that's okay, because doesn't it look cool? And now all we need to do is connect these two halves, and this is going to be probably more rural here, so I wonder if we could get away with having an at-grade kind of deal going on, and I think the answer is yes. We're just going to have a funky little at-grade intersection right here, and probably a few more on the path. So that actually finishes our rail line, and there's more stations on it than I thought there would be at first. So let's go ahead and come down here. We have to remember we have to start on this side. It does matter this time because of sharing trackage with the line that comes up here. So this is a short line. And there we go. And let's come down here. The 10th train line we've made. Man, yeah, there's like an infinite number of colors, but I always end up on the same ones. I don't know why. But this looks like Eagles green, so we're going to call this the Carson Wentz line. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we did it. Hell yeah, we did. All we have to do is make sure all these rail stations are connected to the power and water. So let's do that. I mean, this one isn't necessarily needing to be connected right now, but it's there. And we're doing this. Oh no, don't tell me I can't go under here. I can probably go under over here. Alright, good. Okay. That should reach. Oh, in this park. I don't remember why I put it there, but it's there. So there we go. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished all of our rail lines for today. And next time we get together, we are actually going to be working on some of the monorail in the city. So that's going to be the objective for next time. But to end this episode, let's come down here where a train is about to be approaching the station, and we are going to ride this rail fully from one side to the other. So sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labor. Alright, that was pretty sweet. And now, to wrap things off, we are going to be looking at the last one, the little dude. So, this dude has just left the station, so let's jump in to watch it. Oh, just kidding, it's just getting to the station. But hey, you know what? Better for us. And there we go. There is our progress for the day. So, with that, we end this episode. And next time we meet, we'll be making monorail. See you then. Alright, so we have 2 rail lines done. And now anyone can get to District 28 on train, as well as a number of other places nearby. So, next time, when we all come back, what I'm most likely going to be doing is building up the monorail network, very similar to what's over in Prospectsburg. And, of course, we're making some of the streets, too. And this is all in preparation for us building the city up. So, this will be the final episode of preparation before we do it. So, I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time.